Hello and welcome to the Monsters, Myths, and Mayhem podcast.
I'm Cheese Cat.
Otherwise known as Chaotic.
Correct. And with me, Cheese Bird, also known as Silver.
Yes. I wish I had some cheese right now.
I bet you do.
We don't have any here at the house. Anyways, less on the squared dairy products
Mm-hmm.
and more onto the monster.
Yes.
So, we are doing Arachne,
Mm-hmm.
which is Greek and Roman.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know much about Arachne, as you are our local expert?
I do.
Would you like to start us off? Would you like me to go?
I'm sure you took lots of notes and did lots of research, so you go first.
There wasn't a large variety of stuff on Arachne,
Uh-huh.
but she's not really a monster, but her name's used for a lot of monsters in media nowadays,
Mm-hmm.
which led me to kind of originally think that she was a monster until I started doing my research.
Right.
So Arachne is just a girl who angered a god.
Mm-hmm.
Can you guess which god?
I do believe it was Athena.
Yes. Athena in Greek or Minerva in Roman. So Arachne was just a girl who loved to weave. She was a weaver. She was the best of weavers.
Mm-hmm.
She was so good that people and nymphs came from all over the place in order to just watch her weave and make her tapestries.
Yes.
She was pretty arrogant with
Uh-huh.
her weaving skills, as she claimed to be the best weaver out of anybody.
Uh-huh.
Then, as she was weaving, making this one tapestry, a old lady showed up, said, "My, what wonderful weaving skills you've been blessed with by the gods." Arachne said, "I was not blessed by the gods. These are my own weaving skills that I worked hard to make."
Mm-hmm.
The old lady, when talking with Arachne,
Mm-hmm.
said, "You might want to plead forgiveness to Athena or
Mm-hmm.
Minerva for not saying you got skills from them."
Mm-hmm.
Then Arachne boasted that if Athena wished to make her stop, she should appear herself. And after she said that, the old lady tossed aside her old lady grandma disguise and revealed herself to be Athena.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Team Rocket tossing away their disguises, I imagine.
Right.
And which they decided to have a weaving contest to see who can
Mm-hmm.
make the best tapestry. There's a couple different tales. There's some they kind of split to where Zeus and Poseidon judge the tapestries.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's some where just they decide the tapestry's winner themselves, and then some where the people around them
Mm-hmm.
decide on who won. The tapestries they made was Athena made a tapestry with in the center of it
Mm-hmm.
was her contest with Poseidon over who gets to name Athens,
Mm-hmm.
which we know Athena won
Right.
because Athens. And then in the four corners was four different depictions of humans
Mm-hmm.
who did contests or offended the gods and got turned into things. Then it was all kind of surrounded in olive branches.
Mm-hmm.
While Arachne, her tapestry she wove was pretty much just a hit list of all the gods' worst deeds. It included pretty much any time they were transformed into an animal and had relations with human women.
Yes, right.
This was like a whole depiction artwork on these tapestries.
Mm-hmm.
Well, into the stories, it was decided that Arachne won.
Uh-huh.
So in these stories where Arachne won, after she won, Athena got mad and proceeded to try and beat her with a piece of these weaving equipment. Then Arachne ran out, found some rope, and tried to, hang herself.
Mm-hmm.
But Athena told her no, pulled out a magic concoction, a potion, some magic from Hecate,
Mm-hmm.
and tossed it on her before she could hang herself. And it turned her into a spider.
Okay.
The quote from the Metamorphosis from Ovid, who is the one who recounts the Arachne tale,
Mm-hmm.
it states Arachne's hair fell out. With it went her nose and ears. Her head shrank to the smallest size, and her whole body became tiny. Her slender fingers stuck to her side as legs. The rest is belly, which she still spins a thread, and as a spider weaves her ancient web.
Hmm. Interesting.
So Athena turned her into a spider
Mm-hmm.
so that she could still weave webs, and cursed her to weave all her webs and weave all her generations
Mm-hmm.
can weave webs. Because Arachne was the first spider.
That was one of many tales that she has. I like that one.
Then the one where Zeus and Poseidon are kind of judging the competition. Zeus doesn't like that all his deeds were pictured out.
Revealed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And curses her to never touch a weaving wheel, the spindle, I believe,
Yep.
again. So Athena kind of takes pity and then turns her into a spider so she can still weave without having to touch a spindle.
Yep. Without technically breaking the curse.
Yep.
Or without technically, I guess, going against Zeus. One of my favorites are the one you were talking about, actually, the hanging one.
Yeah.
Athena, it's the one I read, was where there was a contest between Athena and Poseidon over the patrons of Athens, like you had said, like
Mm-hmm.
over whatever. And Arachne did a depiction of Zeus, and Athena realized how skilled she was, and then touched her forehead and made her hang herself, and then brought her back to life as a spider
Oh.
to force her to weave all the time. So that way she would always have pretty images.
I wonder if that's the difference between a Greek and the Roman,
I don't
because
know.
the Roman is the Metamorphosis with Minerva, which is
Mm-hmm.
kind of the one that I was going from.
Mm-hmm. And then I know the Arachne loses one was one.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was one where Arachne obviously gets challenged by Athena. Athena gets upset because she's better than her, and she throws Hecate's potion on her and turns her into a spider, condemning her to weave for eternity just because she got beat. But yeah, there's a handful.
I never actually figured out what happened after she became a spider. I tried looking for it. I couldn't find anything because anything that had her in it that I seen just kind of ended there.
I think it's just, I mean, she just continues. She's like the Charlotte's Web of Greeks. She just continuously spins pretty images.
So she just lived out her days as a spider.
Yes. A very creepy spider, but a spider, yes.
Eh, well, yeah, it just kind of confused me. I would think there'd be more than just kind of those stories with Arachne because Arachne is such a well-known name.
Mm-hmm. No, and that's the hard part is she's so popular, but yet relatively simple.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, I was just kind of thinking there's like the Medusa situation with Athena, how Medusa had a turning and then a death.
mm-hmm.
I was thinking maybe it was an Athena and maybe there was an Arachne one, but it was
Right.
just a turning. Maybe the death is in one that was lost. Well, with that, would you like to move on to media?
Yeah. I'm interested to know this one. I don't know any actual media she's in.
Well, there isn't really, like I said, the depiction of Arachne's namesake is a lot different than Arachne from the mythology.
Right, but I guess I was curious if there was any actual from mythology Arachnes out there.
The closest one I could find is
Mm-hmm.
Hades 2.
Okay, I'm excited.
'Cause Hades 2 has Arachne in it. The only difference that I could see in the image and what they physically described
Mm-hmm.
was Arachne in Hades 2 has hair,
Oh.
but Arachne is a weaver.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a wig.
Wait, I've met Arachne. Is Arachne the one who makes my clothes?
Yes,
Oh my god, I've met Arachne.
Arachne the weaver.
I don't know why I wasn't thinking about that. Yeah, I've met her. She's fucking adorable. She's the
She
cutest
is.
motherfucking thing in the world. And she gives you the coolest shit when you pass through there. I didn't even think about it. I love her.
But she's the closest one I could find to the actual,
That's fair.
description. Most of the other Arachnes are pretty much like the Jorogumos or Joros. Yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
Jorogumos, like we talked about the yokai,
Mm-hmm.
where they're spider lower body, women upper body
Yeah.
with arms in their face and just 8 legs. And the places you could see those are the D&D 5e Driders, Daily Life with a Monster Girl has Spider Women in it.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Spider Women, Marvel,
Yes.
Madam Web goes by the codename Arachne.
Ooh.
In one of the big mythology games, Smite 2, not Smite 2, just regular Smite. Smite 2 might have her as well. I have not played Smite 2 yet to know. But Arachne is also in there. She was one of the first non god characters you could play as. And she's got a cool xenomorph skin.
Ooh.
In the anime Soul Eater, there's a character named Arachne Gorgon who is spider themed.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's also the anime and light novel called So I'm a Spider, So What? It's actually a pretty good anime. Probably not for Bird because its main character is a spider, and Bird has arachnophobia.
Yeah.
Then are you familiar with Spirited Away?
Yes.
Kamaji, the guy that sits in the back room, has all the little dust bunny guys. He also is kind of an arachnid, as he has all the legs. But I'm not sure where they took the transformation from Spiderling, like the little spider, to grow in a spider upper body and face
Yeah.
for the media. I know a lot of the Japanese ones probably got it from the Jorogumo because of the yokai being from Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, DC has in their character called Arachne too, but it's some dude in the Wonder Woman comics who doesn't have control over his ability to shape change into a giant spider.
Yeah. Just shift into it.
Yeah, he just randomly transforms, kind of like werewolf syndrome, like lycanthropy, but with
Mm-hmm.
spiders. Then that's about it. Can you think of any spider related characters from any of your books or anything?
Um. Yes. There is in a lot of like mythology stuff. A lot of mythology books. There's always kind of it's hard though because there's like there's never like an Arachne. It's just like the mentioning of spiders all the time. Like even in the Forbidden Harry Potter series that we're not going to endorse because J.K. Rowling's an ass. Um, there's like a leader of spiders. And there's so they just like spiders. She made a name for like mythological spiders everywhere. So like you were saying earlier, like it's hard to find the actual Arachne being represented, but there's a lot of kind of like hers around. If I had to put Arachne's personality and like what she does into something like modern day, she's very much Charlotte's Web. Like that's a great depiction of a modern day Arachne. I know she's not a
Yeah.
human turned into a spider, but she's a female spider that weaves wonderful things and spectacular things and wows the world, you know?
Some pig.
That's some pig.
Oh, Arachne technically made a name for all spiders, not just the mythological ones, because her name is what gave birth to arachnids, which is the spider's class. Family?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, class.
Man, there was something I watched her did the other day, and it had what I would picture Arachne as.
Arachne is also pretty arrogant, too, but she knew she was good. Pretty prideful. Trying to find it.
I'm in existential crisis. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. I'm broken. I don't know what it was. That's gonna bother me, and I'm gonna remember when we're done. It was not that long ago. Damn it. I don't know. Forget me. If you guys know some cool media shit, you should tell us because maybe one of you will spark it for me.
Well, if you think of it, we can talk about it
Yeah,
in
we'll
Mayhem.
go. Yeah, I promise. If I remember, it'll be probably next episode, but we'll do it.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. I'll find a way.
So Arachne, she's someone we could place in the school. You want me to go first?
Sure, because I have a place I want to put her, but it doesn't feel right.
I want to put her in drama club.
Oh.
She can make all the costumes for everybody.
Oh, that's such a good idea. I was going to put her in fucking art. I was going to have her as an art teacher.
Yep. Art, tapestry weaving.
Yeah. Like a special arts.
I mean, home ec, they kind of got sewing and stuff. I'd put her in theater, drama as the costume designer, as spider form.
Oh.
That way, all the costumes would be strong enough for the monsters because they'd be made of spider thread.
Yeah. I feel like she could be useful in so many ways. She could make like really sturdy, like gym rope, like
Yeah.
climbing rope. She can make, whatever. But yeah, I just think overall, like you said, art teacher. I said art teacher, or you even said like costume designer for the drama set would be cool. That'd be neat. That would be cool.
And if Arachne was, around in real life, which pretty much she is, because all her children are just spiders,
Right.
some do cause a lot of mayhem.
Mm-hmm.
But if the woman Arachne
Mm-hmm.
was, we'd probably just have really cool tapestries. I mean, she was so good, she brought in everybody to watch her. She might be doing like live stream tapestry making on Twitch.
That would be. She could make so much money doing the TikTok shop.
Yeah,
What do you feel like mayhem wise though?
pretty much nothing. I think she was another one of those wronged people. Got wronged by the gods.
She falls under the layer of Medusa there. Not obviously Medusa's was pretty bad. Like hers was bad, but Arachne was also wronged. I mean, they just really be out here just doing whatever the fuck they want. Gods are wild.
They do be.
Yeah.
I think it was in the lore for Smite
Mm-hmm.
that the Arachne, is immortal. So she's still roaming around someplace.
Mm-hmm.
And all her children are not immortal.
Oh.
That's why we can squish spiders.
Oh.
But if you try and squish a spider that it doesn't squish, that might be Arachne
Oh. That's good to know.
because she is immortal.
Good to know. So if you smush a spider and it doesn't die, you have come across Arachne. She's in disguise.
I don't know how much disguise if she can't take it off.
Well, I mean, she's in disguise if she doesn't look like a naked lady being dragged around by 8 legs.
True.
Yeah. She's just forming in with her baby spiders for a bit and then going back to be a naked lady spider later.
Mm-hmm.
You never know.
You never know.
I agree, though. I don't think there's much mayhem. She was wronged. She's kind of doing her own thing.
Yeah. I was kind of surprised when I learned about Arachne wasn't really a monster. She was just got turned into a spider.
I'm glad that you were pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. I was kind of wondering how that would turn out if it was going to be another Lamia situation where she got chased around the kingdom for a while
Mm-hmm.
and she went mad and killed people.
Mm-hmm.
It was just Athena or Minerva being a
Mm-hmm.
sore loser.
Correct. Always. It's always.
She was disrespectful,
Yeah.
but that was a little too far.
She was disrespectful, but like they deserved it. Like they needed humbled often. So whatever.
Alrighty. I guess with that, we'll start to wrap up the show. Thanks to our patrons, Ruby, Mage, Mondi.
Woo.
Any news, Chaotic?
Not right now. Nothing crazy.
The only news for AA would be that we're recording with guest host right now, and we took a week from publishing off due to Mondi having a baby.
A tiny Mondi.
Yes. I don't remember if I said that last week.
I think you mentioned that he was on leave due to it, but I don't think you guys mentioned the week of publishing.
Yeah.
So, speaking of podcasts, by the time this one comes out, our book podcast should be right around the corner. So be on the lookout for that within when this one comes out. Be on the lookout for it within the next week or so, I would say. And we should have another Monsters Break Glass within the next 2 weeks or so as well.
Ooh.
Woo!
Any update on the website?
Yes, coming along. I'm currently trying to decide if I want to. So what I'm trying to do right now is I'm going to have a landing page where it's easy to just click on the podcast and it'll take you to each individual one link-wise. But I kind of want to make each of them a page about them and kind of what they are and kind of make them like a background and stuff. So it is a work in progress, but when it's done, it will be very pretty. I'm very excited.
Very excited.
And I'm working on it in case of Monsters Break Glass, and then the book podcast kind of in tandem. So just be patient with me.
It's a lot of stuff.
I try and carve out days that I do it all, like try and do things with it. And I've got haunt season getting ready to come up, so my weekends are kind of fudged. So after that starts, it'll be a little crazier, and I hopefully will still be able to get stuff out, but my weekends will be full. So, but yeah, I think that's it.
With that, Chaotic with the outro.
Thank you for listening to the Monsters, Myths, and Mayhem podcast. Silver and Chaotic take you into the depth of the lore and discuss how these legends could affect modern-day society. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or almost any podcast service easiest to you. Dive into the depths of chaos with us every Wednesday, bar Silver and Chaotic not missing their scheduling, and consider joining the podcast Discord or Twitter following even more insider looks and even some D&D sessions. If you'd like some extra special inside looks or even want to be a guest on the show, consider helping us via Patreon. Your help makes such a big difference to us both. Until next time, Mythics, you never know what kind of mayhem we might get into.